We have the Dow up 64, NASDAQ up 5, S&P's up 3, and now we got our man, Mr. Larry Pesavento. And folks, don't forget, at TFNN, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we start live programming 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. Tuesday, Thursday, we go from 7 o'clock in the morning to 6 in the afternoon. Now, all that programming you can get right on your cell phone. You go to TFNN.com. You hit Tiger TV on the right-hand side. You're going to get some great HD quality video as well as audio. Larry's got an outstanding show every trading day, 9 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. John Logan kicks us off. Larry comes on right after him. You want to really start understanding where the markets are before the market opens. It's an amazing program. Larry also has a great newsletter. It's called Fibonacci 24/7. He's going to be doing a workshop. This workshop is for his subscribers, but guess what? You can subscribe right here, right now, for only $97. It's a money-back guarantee, and what you're going to get is that Larry's got a great book, and A Trader's Guide to Financial Astrology, Forecasting Market Cycles Using Planetary and Lunar Movements. Bottom line, you sign up. Well, first off, if you're a subscriber to Larry, we've been sending these books out all day long today. The office is really busy. It's a beautiful thing. And as you subscribe, you're going to get his book. You're also going to get an outstanding workshop. This workshop is on October 26th, 5 to 6 p.m. And that workshop, we're going to be talking about the patent that H.M. Gottlieb missed, but we're going to have Larry talk to us about it. Larry Pesavento, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Yourself?
Everything's good. Tom, I wanted to mention to the folks, I first met you in 2005 in New York in February. And, we were meeting, you'd met the hockey players from the 1980 Olympic team.
Right.
But the main reason, I've hung out with you so much, first of all, I love your positive attitude, but you really tried to help people so much. And the fact that you're able to, buy a large quantity of these books to give them away in astrology is really good, because there's going to be more and more stuff coming out on the astro stuff. We happen to know that Andrew Lowe at MIT is working on something in astrology, along with several other of these brain drain types plays. I don't know exactly what they're doing.
Yes.
But when we have guests on, like Shane Smolian, the co-author of the book, and Norm Winsky,
exactly,
and Bill Meridian, and Alfie Lavoie, and so many of the other folks, that are showing these cycles and how they fit together. It's helpful to people to get a little understanding and not be afraid of it, because they're only numbers. That's all we're dealing with, and that's the real key. But you really go out of your way to try to help folks, and I hope that people appreciate it. I know the family at TFNN certainly does, and I know a lot of our listeners do, but you do a great job, and I wanted to thank you for that.
No, I want to thank you. That's pretty wild. So since 2005, we've been going at it. Man,
February
that's
2005,
crazy.
Yeah,
Time,
sure is.
Time is a trip. Well, it's so wild, right? It's not only time, but when we're talking about nature, when you're talking about astrology in general, I love looking at the stars anyway, just in general, right? And what ends up happening, it's so wild, is that you think about it and you look around and you know that whether it's, a couple hundred years ago, that's how folks used to get around. I mean, you know that I love sailing. And, so, what I'm wrapping my head around now, Larry? I'm wrapping my head, I got this book and I'm wrapping my head around how, instead of using a GPS, that I could actually, I'm going to make sure I have a GPS too, but I'm wrapping my head around how you actually can sail from the stars. I got this book that I'm going through right now to really.
That's how they did it hundreds of years ago. Of course,
yeah. Even there's a guy right now that still does it. Okay, and he's one of the most famous guys out there. He's from Hawaii, and it would make sense because Hawaii is beautiful, right? But anyway, so tell us exactly. The webinar is going to be on the patent that H.M. Gottlieb missed.
Yeah, this is a pattern that some of you folks have heard about it, but I've never really described it in detail and the intricacies of it, because there's 4 parts of it. Basically, it forces you to trade with the trend. It gives you a perfect entry, a perfect exit. It's right about 75% of the time. It works in bull and bear markets, and you see it over and over again. It was first introduced to me by Roy Longstreet back in 1985. I actually made a little reference to it. I didn't describe it. I just mentioned a 1-3-5 pattern in one of my books, and he asked that I not to say anything more till they were gone, and now they're gone. And so I'm going to describe it more in detail because it is a very, very powerful pattern for one reason in particular. Well, two reasons. One, it quantifies your risk, and the second thing is it forces you to trade with the trend. And when you're talking about something that is better than 75% accurate, it's really and it'll be a fun pattern. The folks that are going to be along with the webinar will be able to follow along and see some of these as they actually unfold, and I think they'll enjoy it quite a bit.
When Larry's saying trading with the trend, folks, for Larry and I, that's very unusual because it's there's trend followers, but what happens is that when whether it's Fibonacci or you're looking for patterns, bottom line is that you're looking for, it's not necessarily counter trend that we're looking for, it's just that we're going off the numbers, Larry, right? I mean, so it's always been intriguing with me. It's like, okay, I mean, of course we know what the bigger trend is. It's either higher highs or lower lows. But it's intriguing that, when I says, okay, I want to see how this thing shakes out. Do you know what I mean? Because many times over the course of years, I've said to myself, man, do I really want to get on this trend following deal,
Well, it's, they always said the easiest thing is to follow the trend. The first thing you have to do is you have to identify it. Because, the trend on a 5-minute chart is different than the trend on a 30-minute chart. Right. A 30-minute chart is different than the trend on the daily. So that's one of the things that you have to do, and that's the advantage of this pattern, that it works on 5-minute, 30-minute, daily, just like most patterns, but it's a lot of fun. So I think it'll be a fun. I'm going through. The problem I'm having is I'm having a hard time finding failures, but I'm sure I'll run into some, because one of the things you have to do is to tell folks when things don't work. You've got to be able to stand aside and
there's no doubt.
Wait for something else.
That's what's so great about the Gartleys, anyway. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's either on or it's not, folks. Okay, so it's not subtle, which is just beautiful.
Yeah.
So hey, listen. What about these bonds, man?
We got higher interest rates coming. There's no question about that. I mean, we've been saying that, ever since they hit 177. And it looks like we're going to be going lower. And lower bonds means higher interest rates. But that's not the most important thing, Tom. We found a snake in our garage today.
Yeah.
The second one in 24 years. I had 2 of them in my house in 1955. 2 baby rattlesnakes. This was a baby one out in the garage, but Sarah has put the for sale sign out in front of the house. So if you want to buy a cheap house in Tucson, call her today. You'll probably buy it for 10 cents on the dollar.
That's so funny, man.
She doesn't like. Well, I don't like snakes either, but it's a baby one. But actually, Tom, the head of it's about the size of a Volkswagen, and it's 62 feet long. So I guess it's not too small,
Oh my God.
Anyway, I hope the folks can join it and they get a free book. It's a money back guarantee. It's a no-brainer, just like all the stuff you have at TFNN. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
And so you come over to our website at TFNN, folks. You're going to see it right in the front page, Larry Pesavento, 24/7. It's 90, and by the way, folks, okay, his newsletter is amazing, okay? There's charts that go out all day, all night long, videos, all the above. Check it out right in the front page of TFNN. Larry, you have a great weekend, safe weekend. Tell Sarah I said hi, and tell her don't worry about those snakes.
You bet, and God bless, Tom.
God bless,
Bye-bye.
man. Thank you. Stay right there, folks. We're coming right back.